What's up, YouTube? Team Movies here. Now, with today being the birthday of famed comedy legend Robert Williams, I decided to do my top 10 favorite Robert Williams movies. Man, when they I remember when they first announced Robert Williams passing. I literally thought it was one of those fake death hoax, but sadly it turned out to be real. And I mean, gone way too soon. The guy was just a legend. I mean, he got his major start on Happy Days, then of course Walk of Mindy, and he became a big comedy movie superstar. And Robin Williams also showed that he could do, he actually could do more than just straight up comedies. And this the films on this list really proves of how great of a actor Robin Williams was and all. And I mean, the guy could do comedy, drama, thrillers, you name it. The guy's he's just a legend. So that being said, here's my 10 favorite Robin Williams movies. All right, coming in at number 10 is a really good one. Number 10 is Insomnia. Now, this movie is was directed by Christopher Nolan, who of course went on to direct the Batman films. And the film tells the story of a sorry about that. Anyway, it tells the story of a veteran police detective played by Al Pacino, who is sent to a small Alaskan town to investigate the murder of a teen girl, and he's forced into playing a game of cat and mouse with a suspect played by Robert Williams, and you also got Hilary Swank in this as well. I mean, Robert Williams actually outacted Al Pacino. It's you know how hard it is to outact acted Al Pacino. I mean, Robert Williams was really creepy in this film, and he gave just an amazing performance. And Christopher Nolan, I thought Christopher Nolan directed this movie pretty well. It's also such a really good film. Like if you guys haven't seen Insomnia yet, go check it out. Probably to me it's probably Nolan's most underrated and underappreciated film, but it's a really good one. All right, coming in at number 9. Coming in at number 9 is going to be Patch Adams. Now, Patch Adams, stars Robert Williams as a character of Hunter Patch Adams, who wants to become a doctor. So he enrolls at a Virginia Medical University, and he forms like a bond with his sick patients, and he of course he entertains them by dressing up as a clown and all. Robert, and of course you also had Philip Seymour Hoffman in this. He was terrific. Sorry about that. Anyway, but Patch Adams is a really good one. I mean, I really thought Robert Williams gave just an outstanding performance. Philip Seymour Hoffman, I really liked their chemistry together. Williams and Hoffman, their chemistry worked out pretty well. You, um, you also had Monica Potter in this. She was really good there. So yeah, I mean, this movie is really also heartfelt. It's based on a true story. Really good movie. Like if you guys haven't seen Patch Adams yet, go check out Patch Adams. It's a really good one. Pretty good, man. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, coming in at number 8 is going to be another really creepy thriller from Robert Williams, and that is 1 Hour Photo. Now, here, like in this film, Robert Williams plays a character named Cy Parrish, who runs like a 1 hour photo developing a lab in a small bar, and he actually ends up, being obsessed with a couple and whatnot, and he is a really he's a very creepy and psychopathic character here, and it showed a really different side of Robin Williams. And it also showed a side of mental illness because Robin Williams' character in this has mental illness and all. And I thought Williams it's definitely one of his best performances. He was just great in this. And I mean, it's also probably one of his most underrated and most underappreciated films. If you guys haven't seen 1 Hour Photo yet, go check that film out. It's a really decent one. All right, coming in at number 7 is going to be Jumanji. Of course, the 1996. Of course, this is the 1996 Jumanji film with, of course, Robin Williams as the character of Alan Parrish, who of course ends up becoming stuck in the games world for decades, and a group of kids, end up, pretty much end up returning him back in awe. And of course, there's animals here that comes out from the board game as well. Now, of course, we recently just had another recent Jumanji film, which of course had The Rock, Kevin Hart, and all. That was good, but come on, the original with Robert Williams. No, this one still holds up. You had a young Kristen Dunst in this. Really good film. It's really funny. It's entertaining. The animals all look pretty cool. They all look realistic as well. And of course, the Robin Williams character ended up being featured in the recent Jumanji film, which had Nick Jonas and Colin Hanks as a character. But the original Jumanji is just a really good one. Robin Williams was a great Alan Parrish. I really liked him as a role. His chemistry with the young kids was pretty good. Yeah, if you guys never seen the original Jumanji, go check it out. It's a really fun and entertaining flick. All right, coming in at number 6 is going to be Steven Spielberg's most underrated film, and that is of course Hook. I mean, Hook is I think it's Steven Spielberg's most underrated, underappreciated film. It's pretty much like a Peter Pan film with Robin Williams as a grown up Peter Pan, who of course ends up going to back to Neverland and must return to his magical origins as the royal Peter Pan, and he also must he also comes face to face with Captain Hook, played by Dustin Hoffman. You know, Dustin Hoffman was a great Captain Hook. You of course had Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell. Oh yeah, Grant Paltrow was in this too. That's pretty cool. You also had Bob Hoskins as Snake. Really, such a really good, entertaining, great fantasy adventure film. Like I said, it is Steven Spielberg's most underappreciated flick. This movie did not really. This film really did not get the great response when it got released, and it's completely underrated. I mean, it's if you guys never seen The Hook, check Hook out. It's a really good one. I mean, I remember watching this film as a kid, and I really ended up enjoying it. So, all right. Coming in at number 5 is going to be Dead Poet Society. I mean, this is a 1980s classic right here. You got Robert Williams as a teacher who really tries to teach these inner city schools, and try to put them on the right path and more. Of course, Robert Williams had that classic line, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." Robert Williams is probably one of the best movie teachers there is. His character is very influenced. is a very Robert Williams' character is very influenced. Robert Williams gave a really great performance as the role. Like I've watched that Post Society lots of times when I was in school, and it's a really great one. I mean, it's one of it's one of like Williams' most iconic roles. I like the chemistry that he shares with his on-screen students. Really good film. I mean, if you guys never seen Dead Post Society by now, go check it out. I mean, and Captain, my Captain, such an iconic line. All right, coming in at number 4 is going to be Good Will Hunting. I mean, sorry about that. Anyway, my number 4 favorite is Good Will Hunting. Now, this film is based on a true story about radio funny man Adrian Cronier, played by Williams, who was sent to Vietnam to bring like a little comedy back into the lives of the soldiers. And Robert Williams, I mean, of course, he has that classic line, "Good morning, Vietnam." I mean, I cannot do a great Robert Williams impression, so yeah. But Good Morning Vietnam is a really great one. You had Forrest Whitaker in this. You also had J.T. Walsh as a Sergeant Major Dickerson. He also ends up He also ends up having a relationship with a Vietnamese girl named Trina, played by this actress named Shantaria Sukapatiana. And it's a really good one. Robert Williams, I mean, I think he won an Oscar for, no, I think he got nominated for an Oscar for this. But still, I know he was terrific in Good Morning Vietnam. He has some really iconic lines here. I mean, of course, the Good Morning Vietnam line is iconic. He was outstanding in this. I mean, sorry, man. I mean, if you guys never seen Good Morning Vietnam by now, I'd say definitely give that one a go. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, coming in at number 3 is going to be the original Aladdin. Now, Will Smith, he was a great genie, but I'm really glad he did not go try to copy Robert Williams. Um, I'm glad he didn't try to copy Robert Williams' genie because no one could ever replace Robert Williams. Robert Williams is just iconic as that character. Williams. I mean, not to mention the genie literally looks like Robert Williams. Like if you put a photograph beside of both Robert Williams and the genie, they both literally look 100% alike. So yeah, it's of course Robert Williams' most iconic characters. It's one of his best roles he had. He voiced the genie really well, and Genie's relationship with Aladdin is great. Genie has some really great songs in this. I mean, of course, the "I Never Had a Friend Like Me" song is pretty much iconic. Such a really good, iconic animated classic. I mean, the recent remake was really great. I really like the remake, but it doesn't beat out the original Aladdin. I mean, the original Aladdin still holds up. It's still great. Like, if you guys never seen the original Aladdin, go check it out. It's definitely a really great Disney film. Okay, coming in at number 2 is gonna be very good. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, as I was saying, coming in at anyway, sorry about that. Off track. Anyway, coming in at number 2 is going to be Good Will Hunting. Now, this is the movie that won Robert Williams his Oscar. It's a classic one. I mean, it of course won Ben Affleck and Matt Damon a Oscar for best screenplay. Um, like I said, Robert Williams won an Oscar for his role. Well deserving win. He of course plays like a therapist to Matt Damon's Will Hunting character, and I really like their chemistry together. Like the dialogue between Robert Williams and Matt Damon. I really like the dynamic chemistry between Robert Williams and Matt Damon. Their chemistry worked out pretty well. Of course, you had Ben Affleck in this. Stellan Skarsgård was in this film. Really good, classic film. I mean, of course, Williams has some really iconic lines here, like whether it's not just for, and some really good lines. I mean, it's definitely one of Robert Williams' best performance. And if you guys never seen Good Will Hunting by now, definitely check out Good Will Hunting. It's a really good one. All right, coming in at number 1 is going to be pretty much Robert Williams' most iconic characters. Besides the genie, his most iconic character there is arguably Mrs. Doubtfire. I mean, come on, Robert, like Mrs. Doubtfire is definitely his best work. Of course, here he plays like he plays the boss guy named Daniel Hillard, who gets the help from his brother, played by Harvey Fierstein, and he ends up dressing as an older British woman, and he tries to convince his ex-wife and he ends up being hired as his ex-wife's nanny, so he tries to get more closer to his kids. Robert Williams, I mean, Robert Williams in drag, what more could you ask for? It's really great. Great makeup from Robert Williams. He has a great comedic performance here. You of course had Sally Field, Pierce Brosnan, directed by Christopher Columbus. He did a great job. Really funny classic film. I mean, it got released in the early '90s, and it's a movie that still holds up today. I mean, I'm okay with any remakes, but I'm okay with any Robert Williams movies being remade, except for this one. I really cannot see any other actor playing. I cannot see anyone else other than Robert Williams playing Miss Doubtfire. Like, the character Miss. Sorry, that guys. Anyway, the character Miss Doubtfire is just such a great role and iconic. Like, if you guys still never seen Miss Doubtfire, you're missing out. It's a really good one. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, Insomnia. 9, Patch Adams. 8, 1 Hour Photo. 7, Jumanji. 6, Hook. 5, Dead Poet Society. 4, Good Morning Vietnam. 3, Aladdin. Good Will Hunting. 1, Mrs. Doubtfire. Now, Robert Williams has other other great films as well. Let me pull up his credit list. He's been in so many great stuff. Like, What Dreams May Come is a good one. Popeye, which is actually his first feature. The Birdcage, I probably could have had that one. RV is actually really funny. Awakenings with Robert Williams, with Robert De Niro, I should say. Flubber, Bionicle Man, 1 Hour Photo. Oh, I already said 1 Hour Photo. My bad. He was great in the Night at the Museum films. He was in Jack. If you guys never seen Fisher King, he was good in that. World's Greatest Dad, Toys, The World According to God, Happy Feet, Robots, August Rush, definitely not Old Dogs. Oh, definitely not License to Wed. The Final Cut was pretty good. House of D. Yeah, Robin Williams. That guy was he was just iconic and one of the greatest actors there was. And rest in peace, Robert Williams. But let me leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite Robert Williams movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is C Movies signing off.